Okay. The Grand Grimoire Chronicles, Episode 1. The Unexplained Death of Henry Weaver. Sequel to the previous one, which was like an Atari game. Prologue. My strange encounter with Eldon Crow, while I was investigating his disappearance, had a greater impact on me than I could have ever realized. I don't know if it was reading from the Grand Grimoire or being touched by the demons which Eldon had summoned, but something in me had changed. At first I thought they were figments of my imagination, brought on by the strange experiences I had at Eldon's large country house. But it soon became apparent that they were quite real, that they were the spirits of the dead. They don't seem to realize that they're dead, but by showing them something that reminds them of their former lives, I can help them move on. I'm traveling to the south coast of England to investigate the death of a young boy. He was autistic and apparently very fond of birds. He had gone out bird watching but never returned. He was found bludgeoned to death a short distance from his house on the west side of the river. He had been struck on the back of his head with a heavy object. There were no other signs of assault, and the only thing missing was this bird-watching book, which was his prized possession. No one had any reason to hurt him, so his death is a mystery. I'm going to go and do a bit of digging around to see what I can find out. I'm staying at an old converted Coast Guard station, so I should head there first. It's my car. It's old, but it does the job. Just a small potted plant. It doesn't look too healthy. This is the garage. I don't have access to it. The keys I have only open the main door to the Coast Guard station. A telephone box. You don't tend to see these old red ones much anymore. They're all blue. That's a huge gull. It certainly doesn't seem to be afraid of me. It's just a bin. No money? Alright, fine. It's a coin-operated telescope. It seems a bit pointless here, as it just looks out to the open sea. The sign talks about the local history of the area, particularly its maritime and military history. There's an old Napoleonic fort across the river, built in 1854. I've located the fort on the map. It's in ruins now, but I should check it out. It's a large wooden dining table. There's a full fruit bowl in the center. A sturdy wooden dining chair. There's a bunch of flyers on the table for a number of various local attractions. One of the flyers is for an amusement park, though it says that the rides don't operate in winter. The park has been here around 100 years, so I'll check it out. Shelving. There's lots of bits and pieces here, but nothing seems useful. It's a cleaner's trolley. It seems the cleaner left their keys behind. I can't see anything else of use on the trolley. A large old wooden crate. Nothing of interest inside. Bunch of keys, wooden plank. A waste paper basket. It's empty. It's the kitchen sink. Just a kitchen counter with a cupboard underneath. There's nothing useful. It's a washing machine. Just a kitchen counter. Just a kitchen counter with drawers underneath. It's the cooker. It's the fridge freezer. A large round coffee table. There's an empty wooden box on the center. The door is labeled as a bathroom. I have no reason to go inside. A small side table. There's nothing on it. It's a large, comfortable leather armchair. Just a small potted plant. The key is left behind by the cleaner. Unlock the garage door. There's a large notice board covered in various notes. Looks like they are all for the cleaners and maintenance. A note fell off the board. The note has a number scribbled on it. Shelving. It's a large locker. It's held shut with a combination padlock. The number on the scribbled note was the combination for the locker. Not much useful inside except for a torch, which is British for flashlight. Ooh. Give me that. Screwdriver. Large cardboard box. Nothing of interest inside. Shelving. It's a heavy drain cover. I can't budge it with my bare hands. It looks very deep. Alright, and that's this place explored. So I got 4 locations. Coast Guard, area map, or amusement park, Old Fort, and Riverside West. Pile of rubble. Pile of rubble. Just a bramble bush. Just a bramble bush. Alright, none of that looks like it's anything. Quite a large hole. It seems very deep and I can't see the bottom. It's the spirit of a young girl. She's crying, sobbing. The man from the inn. He came out of nowhere. Pile of debris, pile of stones. Alright, doesn't look like I can do anything here yet. What's brown and sticky? Yeah, it's just a stick. It's just a drain. It's a post box. It's a signpost that says town center 3 miles. It's a light. It's a cleat. A water tap. The walkway is far too old and rotten to even consider crossing as it is. I placed the plank down over the walkway. Hopefully it'll hold. Old rotten submerged boat. Sure, I'm glad I'm walking on this. Old rope. Nice. Now I can tie down the ghosts. It's a raven, or maybe a crow. I can never really tell the difference. It's the spirit of a young boy. I think this is Henry Weaver. Help, I'm hurt. I need to get home, but I've lost my book. Just a drain, just a drain. It's a signpost that says public footpath. Can't go down it. Stick. Stick. Drain. One place to go. Just a litter bin. Nothing of interest. Tree growing out in a large wooden container. Can't do anything with those. Litter bin. Plastic barrier. Standard cone to prevent people from wandering into areas where they shouldn't be. I wonder if that will stop me. Looks like it. Don't bother me, I'm trying to work. Well, I mean reasonable, but is an access hatch. The access hatch doesn't seem locked, but it's jammed. I used the screwdriver to prise the hatch open. Under roller coaster. It looks electrical in nature. Maybe some sort of control box. I turned it on, and it appears to have powered up the ride. And that distracted him because... reasons. There's various tools and equipment in there. I'm not going to take anything. I've probably caused that workman enough trouble. There's various tools and equipment in there. What is that? Manhole key. It's a large, heavy access cover. It's an access shaft. I can see pipes and wires. I probably shouldn't mess around with anything. Yeah, that's reasonable. It's a sign that says, "This way to the cafe," but you really don't need to go there. There's a sign that says, "Seriously, there's nothing to do here." A generic-looking round cafe table. There's a dirty plate on the table. Just an empty counter. On the counter, there's containers of sugar, etc. On the counter, there's a tray with cutlery. I don't need anything. Dirty cup. It's a chair. Counter. It's the flap that gives access to behind the counter. Generic looking dirty cups. Empty, empty. And that one on the far right doesn't even have any dialogue. Fine. Still got one more space to look before I go back to the life house. Just the bench. Ooh, oil. Oil can. Coast Guard station. Oh, wait, no. It's the other way. To the garage. I use the manhole key to move the cover off the drain. There are rungs leading downwards to the bottom. Pile of debris. Pile of rubble. I need some light. I use the torch so I can see where I'm going. Pile of debris. Pile of debris. Pile of rubble. Pile of rubble. Pile of debris. Pile of debris. It's an old metal post. It's rusty, but still seems sturdy enough. I've attached the rope to the post so I can find my way back. Hopefully the rope is long enough. It's a moldy old cardboard box. Nothing useful. I don't know what's on this table. Some sort of electrical equipment. It's a table. There's nothing of use on it. Except for a layer of dust. Nothing. Layer. Nothing. It's a huge solid metal door. From its appearance, I get the feeling that this doesn't unlock manually. On the table, there's what appears to be an old communication radio. Some sort of electrical machine. Maybe a motor? It appears to be in reasonable condition, but it has no power. I don't know what's on the table. Some sort of electrical equipment. Shovels are on rails, but they are really rusty and won't budge an inch. I used the oil on the rails and managed to budge it a little. There's an entrance hidden behind the shelves. I can now probably squeeze through. A large puddle of water. It's a gate, locked with what appears to be a combination lock of sorts. There are 3 wheels with different colors on it. It must unlock the gate. Okay, I have no... Oh. Red, red, orange. Yellow. An old barrel in surprisingly good condition. Old wooden crate. Old wooden crate. Old wooden crate. It's a huge wooden chest. I can't get it open with my bare hands. An old barrel. An old barrel. It's a very old toolbox in very poor condition. Most things inside are ruined beyond all use. Inside the old toolbox, there was a spanner that may be of some use. Dang. Alright, gotta figure out what I use this thing for now. Huh. Okay, I can just fast travel to that now. Alright, and since it's not moving to anything over here, I think that's the 5 locations I'm going to have access to. As you reach out, there's a huge flash of blue-white light, and you feel as though your entire body is vibrating and on fire. The pain, smell of electricity, and of burning hair and flesh is mercifully brief, as everything quickly fades to black, leaving your body charred beyond recognition. Okay, well, not getting power that way. Okay, can't do anything with that anymore. Can't do anything with that. And that way's the useless cafe. Can't do anything with you. Well, now I'm stuck. Hmm. I used the spanner to remove the car battery. Maybe I should have waited until I knew I didn't need my car again this evening. Oh well. It appears to be in reasonable condition. The car battery gives the electrical motor enough power to unlock the large metal door. So I can't believe that the motor still worked after who knows how many years. Trade to say, but they don't make them like this anymore. Small puddle of water. A large puddle of water. Large pile of rubble. Don't see anything of interest. Pile of debris. Pile of rocks. There's something sticking out of the pile. There's an old rusty crowbar among the rocks. Well, that means I can open this crate now. Inside, there were piles of extremely old children's clothes, now far too delicate to risk picking up. There was also an old teddy bear in surprisingly good condition. Does this belong to you, little ghost? My teddy. My teddy. Alright, looks like it. Well, now I gotta check every single rock. Pile of old cannonballs, large pile of rocks, old barrel, pile of rubble, old barrel, ooh, in surprisingly good condition. It has the words gunpowder painted on it. There's no way the powder inside would still work. Alright, fine then. It looks like the rubble has fallen in very recently. A couple of the rocks have a little blood on them, and there was a bird spotting guide amongst the rocks. Yeah, well, that's convenient. My book. Well, now what? Outro. So it seems that the boy's death was nothing more than a tragic accident. He'd been bird watching at the old fort and had accidentally dropped his book down a hole that led into the secret tunnels below. After crawling inside to retrieve his book, he accidentally caused a small cave-in and was struck by a brick. He crawled back out and stumbled home, but succumbed to his injuries before he made it home. As for the spirit of the young girl, she did meet her end at the hands of another, the landlord of an old inn that is no longer standing. Some further research revealed that her name was Betty Folwer, and her killer had never been caught. Upon discovering the secret tunnels underneath the town, it seems the landlord used the tunnels to prey on children who used to play on the disused fort. Although little comfort to the boy's parents, and though the girl will never get justice, I have at least enabled their spirits to move on. Well, that was definitely a thing I did.